All right, welcome on back, faithful. I do apologize again for the lag time between videos, but hey, we got another tutorial coming up for you right now. We're going to be finishing up, we're not finishing up, but we're going to be, I guess we'll be finishing up the front part of this here helmet. This is the Mark 6 from Halo 4. For any of my Halo fans out there, you'll know this look immediately, and also it's the same helmet that you'll see in Halo 5. Now, last time we worked on this helmet, we worked on building out the side pieces here. This would be the front, I guess, cheek of the helmet here. We did both of these sides in the last video, and now we're doing just that center column. We're also going to do this inner, I guess this little inner lip where the visor goes behind. So we're going to be attaching that as well, and then attaching the entire thing to the top part of the helmet here. Here's the top we did from our first video, so if you haven't gotten this far yet, go back and do it there. And then we've got both of our cheeks done, so we've got left right here, and they'll come together right in the center. Now for this build, I've done all the pre-cutting for all my pieces. As is usually my custom, I like to pre-cut all my stuff before I start building, which I'm going to tell you, get into the habit of doing because it saves you a lot of time. You'll need these two pieces here, so just pretty much two of the identical same pieces. They're just going to connect in the centers there. We're going to bend them around the helmet. For this build, we're really not going to even have to use our heat gun, so you'll be just cutting and gluing pretty much. You'll have a piece like this in the front here. As you can tell, one side here has been folded down and crimped a little bit from the back side in, also trimmed. I'm going to show you how to do the trimming on this piece here because it's very particular what you have to do. So we'll set that off to the side over here. Put these over here. You're going to have a piece like this here. This is going to be above like the bridge of the nose here. That one, no trimming done on this one here. I do a little bit of, I guess what I would call an accent piece. It just raises the front of that, gives it another level, a little bit more depth, adds some cool shadows inside there. You'll have a tiny spot here, which you're just going to save from cutting out the bottom of this down here. And we'll end up repurposing that and putting that back in there. You'll have this little rectangular shape here. You're going to be, this one's going to be folded in partially on itself to create this little rounded shape like that. So you'll mark off here and there on both sides about 1/4 inch from both ends, and you're going to do a V cut on the back. Now in a lot of my other videos I've done what I call either a V cut or a trench cut, as well as a trim cut or an edge cut. I'm not going to be doing that, my little normal start to that video where I show you how to do this in the beginning, because I've done it a whole bunch of times before. So if you don't know what I'm looking or what I'm talking about, go back to one of my previous videos and you'll find it right in the beginning of most of them. So you're going to do a V cut there, and that is so you can fold this in on itself, create the curve that we need. So put this off to the side here. Now you've got a piece like this. This is the particular one I want to talk about. It's kind of an oddball shape, and that is this little center column right there in the middle. It's got, you can tell, it's got a little bit of a distinct shape to it. If you've never worked with Pepakura before, or Evakura as I like to call it, you'll notice these little dotted lines on the cardstock you'll print this onto. If it's a dot dash line, that means that it's going to be folded up. If it's a dot, that means that it's going to be folded down. So you'll have to ignore a couple of them on here because you're going to be doing very specific cuts on the back of this here. So what I'm going to tell you to do is keep those spots in mind, but don't go completely perfect off this piece here. You're going to have to modify it just a little bit. Okay, so what I did here, right where I guess this little corner comes together there, I cut 1/8 inch groove there, about halfway into the material, and that's so I can fold it forward just slightly. On the back though, where this little piece rounds in and kind of goes to this flat channel here, I went and did about 3/8 inch across there, a big V channel, so I can fold this forward and then tuck it back on itself and make this really cool looking shape. The sides here, I marked those on the back, 2 big V channels there, a little bit more than 1/4 inch, probably again 3/8 inch, and that'll fold inward like this here. The bottom's going to stay open because we're going to end up putting that little piece back inside here. We'll have to trim it down, and then we'll end up capping the bottom as well. As for these little corner nibs right here, you're going to want to do a trim cut on the inside edge of this piece there, so it has kind of a triangular look coming in at it. And that is so when we have this all folded down, this can turn easily and attach right back to itself there. So those are the ones you're going to want to do. Beyond that, we'll do a couple little accent bits on the front here. but we'll save that for later. For starts now, we're just going to do this piece right away, get it done and out of the way. These two pieces here, that front, as I said, that front little window piece here for your shape. We are using Loctite 5-second super glue. This is the liquid super glue. This is the best stuff that I have found for working with EVA foam. Let me restate that. It's the best stuff I've found for working quickly. If you want quick and strong, this stuff works great. You've got about 3 seconds of wiggle room, and then by number 5, boom, it is solid. Now, if you want to do really, really crazy hold on your piece, you'll use contact cement. But I don't have the time to be doing 15 minutes, wait, 15 minutes, wait, 15 minutes, wait. So if you want the next step up, this is where you want to go with. Obviously, you can go back and repair your pieces with contact cement, but this here bonds on a molecular level with your foam. It'll actually melt and fuse the edges together, and it works really well. You also do come back and reinforce all your seams on the back side with hot glue so that they don't pop if you stress them too hard. All right. Without further ado, let's get going. So I'm just going to do a couple little beads on the flat surfaces here on this piece. Oh no, am I dried up inside here? I am, crap. We gotta poke a new hole. Come on, little guy. There we go. Just a few dabs will do it. Take our pieces here, and we're gonna connect them. If one's a little bit taller than the other, just kind of squish it in. Beauty of this foam is that you can manhandle it into whatever shape you really need it to be. So press those two together. We'll let that hold for just a few seconds. And that should be good. And for any of you who have never seen my videos before, my name is Rolon, aka Angel Legend. And I am an armor builder, cosplayer, voice actor. This is what I love to do in my spare time because it is wicked fun. I've actually got a suit of armor on a mannequin in my corner right now, which greets all of our guests that come to our house. So it is, not only is it a fun talking piece, but it's wicked awesome when you actually go to a convention decked out as the chief or another Spartan. Okay, so these are attached here. We're gonna do one more little bit right on top of that seam, just a little dot on both, 2 dots on this side here. And I cut a bunch of these little triangular pieces. They're just scraps from the foam. Those are my smoother pieces. Use that to smooth out the crease over where you just put that glue. Reason you're gonna do this is because say this is the crease here, it puts glue on both of them and kind of marries the two edges together, so they're way less likely to pop open. So now I can bend this and torque it, and it's not gonna just come splaying out on me. And we will be bending these a little bit, not a crazy amount, so don't worry too much. Okay, so we're now gonna take this and put it off to the side. Okay, now for the fun part. As I said before, I've already pre-cut all these pieces here. So if you haven't done it yet, I'd say stop the video right now, trim this piece, and then come back and we'll go at it from there. What we're gonna do first is we want the shape to bend in on itself first. That's what we want done initially. So let's go onto the back here. We're gonna run a seam of glue down the middle there, a seam of glue down the middle here, pinch them together. So, see right down the center, and you don't need a crazy lot of glue, just enough that you know is gonna make contact. Pinch together and hold. And nice thing about doing a V channel cut on the back is instead of just heating this thing and then folding it and trying to get it to stay in that shape, we've now taken out enough of that foam inside there to where the piece has no other purpose than to adhere to itself like that and make this really, really cool look to the front there. And all it takes is just a few seconds like that and that piece is just about done. Now ordinarily I would go back through with my hot glue gun, hit those seams right now, but for time reasons, I don't want this video to be that long, so we're just gonna leave it, but just know, go back in there, reinforce your pieces. I probably said it every single video. Okay, so that's right where we want it to be. On the front here, let's put a little bit of glue right along the bottom edge here, so right along that kind of the corner edge there. It's probably way too much, but whatever. Now push this in and really squeeze down. Okay, we want that glue to bubble out the front. See how it's kind of bubbling out the front there? Now go back through with your smoother piece and smooth it along that entire gap. Just like that. Now what we're doing is we're filling in that little V channel that we just cut inside there, and we are merging in. And smoothing out this glue not only helps it to marry the two sides, but it also helps it to dry quicker. So I did put quite a bit on there. You don't have to do nearly that much as I did, but put enough that you know it will hold. That'll be the most tension in this entire front piece will be right there. Okay, so those two have come together. Let's see what we got here. Oh, look at that. See that perfect little middle there? It looks like that's just how it came pressed off the factory floor. That's exactly the look that you want. So now from the back side here, we're gonna go here and we're going to press this side down and in. So you're gonna have this little lip on the front there, kind of like that. What we may do even on the back here is we may come back in and cut a little bit on the back here and fold it in a little bit further. We're gonna see how it looks though once this piece is folded in on itself. We may not even have to. So again, from the back side, glue just right in the center of that piece, press it in. And if you need to, use the table to hold it. Smooth that glue right inside there, just like that. If you guys haven't yet, please smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. I love making these videos for you, and I love having me some dedicated fans. If you guys have any questions about doing armor, please hit me up. You can find my YouTube channel, you can find my Facebook page down below in the comment section, or I guess the info section of this video. I want to see what you're working on. If you're making a suit of armor, please, I'd love to see it. Especially if I'm helping you out, I'd love to see your progress. So please feel free to send me the photos, because I will post them up on the page and get you guys a shout out. Okay. Okay, so I want to make one more little adjustment here. What I am going to do is, let's see, maybe I don't need to. Wait, maybe we're good. No, actually we're good. Okay, now I am going to do it. Okay, so on the back side here, I am going to, about 1/2 inch down from that little crease we just made, make a small line. Okay, we're just going to do a very, very tiny cut there, but it'll take off some of the pressure, so when it folds back in, it's not going to want to pop that front seam. And I'm going to use a small box cutter here. We're just going to go about 1/8 of an inch, like the entirety of this V-channel cut, we want it to be about 1/8 of an inch wide. And that should give us just enough material out of here that it'll fit perfect. So maybe just over 1/8 of an inch, not quite 1/4. Okay, let's see here. If I pull that back, okay, perfect, there we go. And that'll actually push out the front here. You'll see this little, almost like it wants to kind of balloon out the front a little bit. That's what we want. So we're gonna tuck this back, and the angle you're gonna want on this here, right now it's a little bit, about a 45 degree. We want it about a 30. So right about there is where you're gonna want this to stick. Take this side here, this corner, and hit it right about just past midway up that side. You're gonna have this little puckered edge there, but it's gonna be pretty well hidden once we set the piece into the front there. So I pull it out a little ways, hit it on this corner there, a little bit, fold down and press. Now this helmet that I'm doing right now, this is, you can find all these pieces inside the Dropbox below this video. So look at the Dropbox link down there and you will find all the exact same pieces that I used for this build. This helmet in particular though, it is sized for a much, much larger person. It's gonna look enormous if you just print it off the size that it is. So download yourself Peppercore Designer and shrink it by 10%. That'll make sure that it will fit your head. If you don't do that, you're gonna have this bobblehead looking helmet and it is gonna be way too big. I made that mistake the first time around, so hopefully I will save you guys some time in this process. If you've never worked with this kind of material before, this is EVA Foam that I'm working with. I'm working with 1/2 inch material right now. You can buy them either on eBay, or else you can go over to Menards if you're up north. You can go to Lowe's or Home Depot, and you can buy these in packs of 4 sheets, usually for about 20 bucks. Or if you can go to the 5 and Under store, they usually have sheets of them there at the 5 and Under. And if you look inside the description below this video as well, you'll find links to Peppercore Viewer, Peppercore Designer, as I said before, my Dropbox with all the pieces that you'll need to make the Mark 6 suit of armor from Halo 4. There's also some reference images inside there as well, so hopefully I'm saving you guys some time. Alright, that little piece is blown, there's too much glue on this edge, so just toss that one out. I usually cut 6, 7, 8 of these for each video. Okay. So now that's the shape that we want right there, okay? This is pretty much in its entirety, that's what we want it to look like. Okay, now for the bottom here, we've pinched it in, so we've got this weird little angle there on both sides. This isn't gonna quite fit inside there, so we're gonna have to trim this to fit. What I'm gonna say to do is go in from, if you lay it down like this here, go in from the back side and cut about a 45-degree angle all the way through, just like that. Same thing on this side, right to that corner edge. Now, we'll see how this fits inside here. Press that in, just like that. Perfect. That's right about what we want. We just want a little bit of depth to the piece. And actually, I'm going to trim off a little bit of the side here so it will fit a little bit easier. I apologize if you hear a screaming little person in the background. My neighbors. Okay. Let's see. Press this back inside here. Find out where we're at. All right. Nice. I like that. Reason we're putting this piece back inside there is because we want this cool little step down. It's got a really neat look to it. So what I like to do is I'm going to put glue on this edge, and that edge, and I'm just going to prop this out, stick one edge, hit the other edge, and then press it into the middle. So just a little bead of glue is all you need, because you will be reinforcing this on the back side with your hot glue gun. And when you use a hot glue gun, use a low heat one for working with EVA foam. You see I'm pressing this in here, just like that. A low heat gun is going to enable you to work faster. High heat stays way too viscous for way too long, and it's just a pain to have to sit here and blow on your piece to cool it all down. That's another reason why I like using Loctite over hot glue for my initial building, is because I don't have to sit here and go and let that thing cool down. It is locked in there good and tight. Okay, so the bottom, it's not called out inside the actual the PDO file down below in my Dropbox, but I want to cap the bottom here because I just don't like having it open right here and there's no piece for it. Otherwise, Chief just looks like he's got this weird little vampire fang thing going on. So what I like to do, take the piece here, put it upside down, and we're just going to trace the outline of that bottom with a pen. This is just a little foamy sheet here. You can find these in stacks of something like 60 over at Walmart for about $4, or at Michael's you can find them too. They are great for adding cool accent pieces to your armor. And my pen is almost dead. Come on, work for me, pen. No, you are dead. Let's try this one. Okay. There we go. And when you get to the back of marking this whole thing off, so this is kind of our initial shape right there. Those are the little points that we've got up on top, like this here, to the back. Go straight across there, just like that. That whole piece is going to fit pretty well right on the bottom here, and it will cap off the bottom so you don't have that weird little, like I said, fang look. For this, I'm going to go ahead and cut this with an X-Acto blade. X-Actos work the best for working with these little foamy sheets. Again, you want your blades to be very, very sharp because it makes it so much easier, and you are way more likely to cut yourself bad with a dull blade than you are a sharp blade. Because a sharp blade, you know what you're going to get. You know it's going to cut right through. A dull blade might get stuck, you might tug too hard, and slice your thumb open. So, again, if you guys are, if you're a young kid doing this, make sure you have a parent real close and make sure they know what you're getting into, because I would hate for any of you guys to injure yourself doing this. So we got that little piece right there, and we're just going to cap that bottom. See how it fits there, just like that? Any overhang we can just trim off if we need to. We're just more concerned with getting that to line up with the bottom section right here. So we'll put a little bit of glue on here. And we can smooth this out if we need to, if it squeezes a little bit past the edge. So I go corner first, make sure we get the corner that we want down, press that in, across the middle here, and then press this corner in as well. Come on, baby. Here we go. Nice. All right. Now, for me, that's good enough. If you want a little bit more reinforcement, you can just take a little piece of, extra piece of this foam here, tuck it in behind there, make it a little bit stronger. We'll just go ahead and do that right now. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it here. Let's see. See if I'm good enough to hit this shape. And we will go right there, just like that. Oh, perfect. Fits right in. Okay. So What I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck the piece inside there like this, so it's just a little bit firmer on the bottom. Trim it a tiny bit. And these are little pieces here that, like I said, nobody's going to tell you these. These are just little accent bits and little extras that I like to add to my shapes because I feel like it adds just another level of detail to it that makes all the difference for me anyway. Maybe you're not so detail oriented and you just want the suit to be able to put on and you don't care about goofy looking seams. That is totally fine. Whatever you like to do, that is completely on you. I know me, when I'm doing any kind of armor build, I like it to be as exact as possible and as close to the original from the game or movie or what have you as I can get it. So, all right, cool. There we go. There's our bottom there. All right, put this all off to the side. Now, next little bit we're going to do is going to be this little nib right there on top of this piece. We'll end up doing a little bit of more of this foamy on top of this little piece here, but we're going to do this shape first. So this little bad boy, the one I told you, we're going to do 2 V-cuts on the back there. Those are a little over 1/4 of an inch wide and about halfway down through the material, so we can fold it like this. So we'll go ahead and glue that down first. Just a couple little dots, couple dots. Pinch it together, and we'll just let it hold. Nice thing about working with this Loctite glue is it does make a really good hold, but it's much easier for a hold to work if you have 2 flat pieces coming together, just as more surface area. So on the corner ones here, you kind of have to hold it for a couple extra seconds because that piece, the foam, wants to try and pull itself back out. So you've got to fight it just a little bit. But it's not too bad. Okay. Here we go. Right. Now this one, it does have this, even though it's a rectangular shape, it has a tiny little bend down to it. So you want the domey part to be on top. So we want this side up here. And that is going to fit right into this shape here, just like that. So you're just going to go corner to corner, and we're just pretty much running glue along this edge. So a little bit of glue right, y'all. Right there. Go a little bit into the shape. And hit that. And walk that right into the middle here. Let that connect. And then instead of walking the shape the rest of the way around, I'm going to pull this out and I'm going to make sure and stick the corner first and then press the rest of it in there. Because I would hate to walk that shape all the way around and then have it overlap way too far. So I want both edges to be secure first. Let's move that in. Again, we'll do some glue right on this edge here, right in the middle. And then, as I said, hit the corner first, press it in, let it hold for just a second, and smooth this out. Now, I should warn you guys, if you're working with Loctite super glue, you will get some of this stuff on your fingers. It's just a hazard of working with the material, but it is the best stuff to work with. I cannot stress it enough. It is the best. Look how fast this is coming together. It is that good. Usually it comes off with some palm olive. You can get it off, or some Dawn dish soap really helps too. You can find it at pretty much any hardware store. Even Walmart carries it. Okay. Now the top here, I want just a little piece to cover that because I don't like to see those little corners. So that's just my personal preference. So I'm just going to trace another little piece on here real quick. And again, like I said, you don't have to go and do all these extra steps like I'm doing. This is just personal preference for me. I like to add these extra little features on here just because I think it looks cool. And if you're thinking of, here's an important note here. If you're thinking of acrylic painting any of your pieces, obviously you're going to want to plasti dip all your stuff beforehand. But say you're just going to put acrylic paint right onto this here, which you can absolutely do, but you might want to heat treat your piece first. Make sure when you do your drawing that you get the pen side down. Otherwise, you'll see that pen through the acrylic paint. And it sucks, and it just does not go away. I'm not going to worry about it because I'm going to coat this all in black plasti dip anyway. But the pen will show through acrylic paint, so be aware of that. Okay. So get this piece on here. All right. And that's just a little cap for the top of that, I guess like the nose bone piece there. Or just below the nose bone. Okay. So now, if you look at this here, I've put some little laser cut acrylic pieces on here. If you don't have, obviously, access to a laser to cut acrylic, then I'll show you the next little thing we can do. We're gonna make these little divots inside here, and we're just gonna use a Sharpie cap to do that. So what I'm gonna suggest to do is mark where you want the circles to hit. Keep them pretty uniform. So we got our little marks on here. And again, just taking the cap off a Sharpie. Take that and press that into your shape and give it a few twists so that it etches itself into there. We'll do that on all 4 sections. And that'll give that front of the helmet just another little level of detail. You can see how that's coming together right there already. So we'll keep doing this. Pressing and twisting, pressing and twisting. All right, and one more to go. Okay, now to get those to stay, because the foam will try and, because it's foam, it'll try and pull itself back out. To get those to stay that way, we're gonna take some of the super glue, the Loctite, do like a dab at each side of it. So you want about 4 dabs inside here. And these little dabs of glue are gonna make those little rings that we've just done stay there. So get your little smoother piece here, and you're going to lip it around the edge inside there, and that will make the shape stay just the way it is. You can do that with any other kind of, I guess, embossing technique that you're gonna try and run into your armor here. And this, as I said, it just gets it to hold that little indent that we just made. So there you go. There's our little front detail on the mouth part of this. And if you have, like I said, if you have access to doing little extra accents on here, I do a smaller little raised circle right in the center there, like little buttons almost. All right. Excuse me. Okay. All right, now for a fun part. We're gonna set this off to the side for right now, save this piece and this little one right here. Okay, we are coming back to this piece here. Actually, we're gonna hold that off to the side for a second as well. Okay, this little half rounded shape there, that is gonna be this curved section that goes right below where that little trim or that little window cut is gonna be. But it's got a slight curve down like that. So you can see I've done it here on this side, how it's got that little bend all the way around there, just a slight bend. It's tough to do with how thin this is here. And this is 1/2 inch material. So I'm gonna show you what I've done here. The center part here, you're going to want to edge trim that cut right there. So about a 45-degree angle on that whole piece there. And that is going to fit inside this little bad boy here a lot easier if we do that. So if we have to, we may end up cutting it even further. It just kind of depends. We'll see when we get there. If I need to, I may trim this back even further so it just fits right on top there. We'll see what happens. For this though, we need to edge trim this entire front piece here. So larger box cutter for this one, about that far out. Go right on the corner. Kind of saw it into there, and you're going to follow along that corner edge. You'll probably have to pull this back on itself 3 to 4 times to get through there all the way. But we need to take that bit of material off. Be careful when you're doing this that you don't slip and cut yourself. It is important to learn how to do this edge cut here because this is one of the most used techniques you'll do in all of working with EVA foam. Okay, so now we've trimmed that edge there, but we're not done yet. We have this nice 45-degree angle, but now we've got to curve it. But we can't just curve it and stick it because it's not going to stay. So what you're going to do is you see how this is, we've got EVA foam here, which is untouched, and then we've got this hard edge here. If you have to, go ahead and mark the back here on this, or you can kind of follow along the trim where you've just done. What we're going to do is take the smaller box cutter here, and we're going to cut straight down into this material. So we want to go at least halfway into the piece. Cut straight down like this. follow along the finished edge here. You don't want to cut all the way through. As I said, you want to just go straight down. Maybe go 1 or 2 passes through here just to make sure you've got it all cut firm. Okay. Now come back in from the side like this, halfway up the shape. So again, we're going halfway here, cut into it. Please be mindful of your fingers when you're doing this. Just like this here. Trim it in. There we go. Pull that little bad boy out. Okay, so now we can take this whole thing and we can fold this over and get that nice curved shape all the way around this here. Just that simple little move, okay? So now for the easy part, we're just gonna lock it tight. So put some right on that edge here. Typically I like to go in a little bit of about 1.5 inch sections. Just push it and hold. You need to get inside there and smooth that glue along. Okay, just like that. And we're going to keep walking this over. And I know I need to get this video up, and I will do it here soon. I'll get up a video of the full suit of armor so you can see what you can expect the build to look like once you finish it all up. So I will try and get that up here in the next little bit. I do apologize, it's taken me so long to get this whole suit of armor done. It has been a busy year already. As most of you who follow my videos may know, my wife and I are full-time voice actors, and we have been inundated with work, which is a good thing. But we haven't had a whole lot of free time to do much else. So hopefully here things may slow down in the overall content or the overall time that it takes to do all that, so I can focus on getting this whole thing finished here for you guys. All right, and smooth it right in there. Let's see how we're looking. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, we got this nice, sexy little curve all the way around there, just like we want. And then, let's see here, from the front, I want this piece here to attach to that right there. So, it looks like I can probably trim, looks like I can probably trim this bad boy here a little bit further back. So I'm going to cut down into there, just like I did with these edge pieces here. And then I'm going to cut down into this. And we're just going to take kind of a triangular little right angled piece right out of there. So we'll just cut down and in there. And just be careful you don't end up cutting all the way through the shape. We don't want to go all the way through, just most of the way through. And this might be a little bit tougher to do, so please be careful. You got to kind of be dainty with this whole section here because of how thin it is. See if I can do this without tearing a piece up. Let's see, I think I can. Oh, beautiful. There we go. Excellent. Oh, I almost didn't. I'm about to cut through. Let's see. All right. Perfect. All right, now we're going to stack this right here on top. And these little fin pieces there, we're just kind of going to tuck them in on the side here. So you will see this little crease in the middle. I'll show you on this here. To see how there's kind of a little corner right there? We're going to do that same thing there. Okay. So let's go ahead and stick this down first. And we won't attach these just yet, but we're going to stick down this middle piece. So we'll put our glue. Oh man, I did cut partially through. We should be all right though. Lock tight for the win. All right, and try and get it close to the edge there, maybe just a half step back. Press it in there and hold. And that should be good. Nice. I do have a little dip here, which I'm going to fix. Okay, next little step, let's go ahead and attach our side cheek pieces to that front middle there. So you can see kind of how it's going to fit together here. I'll get a great shot here for you. Okay, so that little rounded section there is pretty much going to go right to where that little creased lip area is there. So figure the top of this corner here is going to line up with that there. Or else you can just kind of go off the bottom and work your way up, whatever's easier for you to do. So make sure you're grabbing the right side. Your little spot where the lights would be on your helmet, that's going to go up. So I guess we're working with the left side here first, or I guess right side, sorry. Okay. So if you've seen before the video that I was making for this here, I did this little itty bitty step right there, which I showed you in the video. This is why we made that step for this corner here. So we can press it right in there like that, and it's got a nice seamless look. That's why we have that little step there, or right here. So do some glue on this edge here, down there, and let's stick them. Okay, press it in down, and when you press this in, tilt it up a little bit like that, so it makes really good contact with that edge. Let it hold for a couple of seconds, and then smooth that in. Bam, there we go. Perfect. All right. Now for the rest of this shape, as I said, that little corner there is going to go right about here. So you want this little piece here to make full contact with that side there. This bottom piece here, it might kind of float on the edge. So you're going to have to give it a look, see which way you think it's going to fit the best. Right there is pretty much good for me. I'm going to put the glue on this side here, press it in and tip up, let it fuse, and then I'm going to pull it back. So I am going to hit this entire side here. So a little bit there, a little bit on this edge here, and then just about halfway on that piece. Here we go. I have to kind of eye it where I want it to go, and bam, there we are. Press it in like this and just hold it. Let it sit for a second. And how are we looking? Very nice. Excellent. Okay, the glue's kind of bubbling out the edge there, just smooth it in. You actually really want the glue to bubble on the edge there because then it means you've got a little bit extra that you can work into the shape, make it just a little bit stronger. Okay, so that's just what we want it to do. Let's do the other side now. I'm just going to do this one kind of quick because you've already seen it done once, so it should be easier to do a second time around. You can see it's always just pressing in, giving it a good, firm, solid hold. Let that sucker fuse in there, just like that. And then we'll do the top of this piece here. Same exact thing. Right here. And sometimes this material is going to try and fight you. Just be aware of that. The EVA Foam is a cruel mistress at times, and she does like to try and kick back out on you. So you just got to play with it. Make it line up to where you need it to be. Make sure you're getting a really good contact on your seams, and you should be good. Let's see, hopefully this bottom doesn't pull away. Yeah, we'll be all right there. All right, cool. All right, so now we're going to pull this shape around and we're going to tuck this all the way around the edge. So this here, this edge is going to stop, if I can show you on here. That little rounded edge there is going to stop at the end of this little piece here. So not that you can't see that on this already, but you'll know right where it stops. If I pull this over here, it's going to hit right about there. So what we're going to do actually, instead of attaching it to the front first, we're going to, actually no, I take it back. We're going to go ahead and attach just the front corner here, and then we're going to attach the back here. And as I said before, we're going to press it all the way around here. That way we make sure we've got both our edges covered. So pull this down. Let's do about 3/4 of an inch on the front there. Go to the corner to corner. So corner down and walk it down the edge. Make sure you get right on that seam. Let it hold for a couple seconds. and then smooth that glue over the edge, just like this here. Where you've got good contact. Boom, baby. And then back here. See how it's even got that little lip there? It fits right in that little curve. Just like that. So we'll go this edge here. Do a little bit like this here. Pull this out. Right into that corner. Just like that. Oh, this is going together so well. Everything's going so well. All right, finish around this edge here. Thing I love about working with Loctite is even over the speed with which you can build, you get beautiful, beautiful seams, and you don't have all this hot glue bubbling through there because it's all on the back. Okay, so now see how this is still kind of cocked out here? Now is when we're pulling it in on itself, and we're pushing this to match that edge there. That's why we have that curve there to grab it. So we'll do this bottom section here first. We put it on my curved edge there, right on the corner of it. Bend this piece in, pull this edge out, and you're going to have to kind of pinch it in on itself. Hit that edge right there. Line it right on up. Get it as even as you possibly can. Let it hold, and then smooth that glue in there. Just like this. Boom, boom, boom. There it is. Just like that. Blammo. There we are. All right. Now for the front here. This little bit there, same exact thing. Putting the glue on this edge here and then pulling this piece into place. So glue. Oh, somebody's crying. Okay. Pull this over. And as I said before, tilt up a little bit so you're making full contact. If you got to get in from behind there and push and hold. Let that blend in. All right. Booyah. Okay. So now this is going to be able to bend a whole lot easier down like that. It's going to be real nice. Okay. Easy peasy. All right. Same thing on this side now. 3/4 of an inch there. Corner down, corner down. Here we are. Okay. All right, corner on this side here. Walk that little shape around. I did a whole huge section there. It's because I'm building for speed right now. But you guys can see how fast this is coming together. Somebody asked me the other day how much time they thought it would take to build a full suit of armor. Now for me, it took a little bit longer because I was doing these videos along with the build because I wanted to show you guys my progress and show you guys how to put this stuff together. I think it took me about 4 months to do. But if you just follow these videos and you're working on, even if you're just working on the weekends, say you got Friday, you can put in 4 hours, Saturday 6 hours, and Sunday maybe another 4 hours, you can finish this sucker off in probably about 2 months' time. So if that's not incentive to try doing EVA Foam over Pepakura, I don't know what is. Because I've done Pepakura as well, and even though Pepakura is really awesome, and you can get some really cool looks with it, when you do your Bondo and you build up areas and you make really cool divots and dents into it, you can still get that same kind of look on this here, only you're building much, much faster. And with using EVA foam, you don't have to go back through and reinforce it with plastic resin, Smoothcast 320, or modeling resin. You just don't have to do that. It saves you a lot of time. Okay. Let's see here. You know what? I don't like the way that little lip there looks, so I'm cutting mine off. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm modifying this shape right now. Boom, on the fly. Look at that. Throwing you curveballs, internet. Let's see how this looks. I bet it looks awesome when I get this off of here. Succeed. Nice. Success. Okay, cool. fill that in. This is a cool technique I do as well. I'm going to fill in this little bit here with a little bit of hot glue, and I'm going to use the iron from my hot glue gun here to smooth it all out. Make it look like it's supposed to be there. And I don't know if you guys know this, but you can actually do some kind of cool damage with hot glue gun as well. You can make it look like you've got scuffed up areas on your EVA foam if you want to, or else you can come back through like I'm inclined to do, and you grab a Dremel. You put a rubber barrel Dremel bit on there, and you can gouge into your EVA foam and make really, really cool bullet skipped areas or knife gouges. Just be aware if you're going to use your Dremel, wear a respirator with either dust or chemical cans. I would say probably wear chemical cans for this here, but dust cans will work all right because this will kick off a lot of dust when you're cutting into it. There we go. I like that much better, that little step there. So if you got to this point, sorry, you might want to do what I just did. Okay. Or just don't put that little white piece there and tuck the little lip of the nose inside there. Whatever you feel like doing. All right. So we're good on the front here. You'll see you're going to end up with two little itty bitty windows inside there. Just come back through with your hot glue gun at the end and fill those in. You shouldn't have any problem with that. Okay, so now we're going to be adding this piece here. Okay, this piece is going to go all the way around. But if you look on this front piece here, where that middle piece goes inside here, it's almost completely straight across the front. It's got maybe a tiny, tiny little bit of a curve to it, which isn't going to be too, you don't have to be too crazy particular, but I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so this here I know is going to bridge. You've got to kind of you have to just kind of let the material show you where it wants to go inside this regard. Okay, here. So if I'm pulling this in, all right, I'm going to hold it tentatively where I want it and just mark the edge, and we'll see how far off that edge I end up getting here in a little bit. So I'm just putting 2 marks there. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece here and I'm going to attach this piece inside the middle there. That way, as I'm walking this shape into this spot here, I'll make sure that I've got a curve going that I actually want and I don't end up goofing it up. So for this piece on the front here, you're going to want this piece to stick up off this just about 1/8 of an inch. So, or actually take it back, maybe about 1/16 of an inch. You want it to stick up out of the edge there. So we'll put the glue right along this edge, that corner right there. Take your piece here, secure it in the middle first, and again, about 1/16 of it you want sticking up. Go edge to edge. Here we are, and then tuck it in. Bam, there we go. Just like that. And it's got just a cool little raised element now. It just adds more detail. And since people are going to be looking at your face inside this, if they're going to get close to it, they're going to notice these really cool little features you're adding. And it makes for a cool fan experience. Okay, now that little accent piece there. Again, you don't have to add all these little accent pieces like I'm doing. I just like throwing in a little bit of extra detail. So you can do this if you like, but don't feel obligated to. You have so much glue building up. Yeah, be aware of this. You might want to have a paper towel with you so you can clear off your glue bottle because it will get gummy from time to time. So bear that in mind. Okay, I'm going to set this right on here. And a lot of these little pieces I just kind of freehanded from looking at what Master Chief looks like and going, yeah, I want to add that feature. Okay, so that's built in. Now, what we'll do here is we're going to go ahead and attach, see, because I believe this goes, let me see here. This is going to go as far back as, okay, cool. All right, so this bottom corner right there, that little corner piece here, that is going to attach right to that corner here. So bear that in mind. Not this far out one, but that one right there, that very bottom one. So we're going to click that in first, hit that on this side, and then we're going to secure the middle piece of this here, walk the entire thing around the edge. Now, for doing this shape here, I'm going to say don't try and stick it directly to the edge, like corner to corner, corner to corner. I'm going to say go just barely on top of this piece here. So I'm going to put glue right on top of this edge and just kind of set it onto the place there. That way it's got enough of a hold there that when you put your visor in from behind, the flex of that visor won't make it pop out. So just a little bit, we'll do about an inch worth here. As I said, this corner here, just set it right on top. You're going maybe a 1/16 of an inch. You're actually making contact on top of there. Okay, that is good. Throw this one out. And same thing on this side here. Do a little bit of glue right on this edge. Just like that. And then let's stick this sucker on here. Bam. Just like that. And let's pull this through. All right. So now we can see where my marks were before. We're almost dead on with those. We're just a little bit off on this side here, but you can see how this curve is here. Okay. Now this is kind of is going to be a little bit of a dicey part here because we have to curve this enough to match up with the top of the helmet, but we don't want to over curve it. So what I'm going to suggest to do is how we held it before. You're going to have to give it a look first, okay? Now, the easiest way you might be able to do this is you take the top of your helmet here, and you hold your piece out, see where that curve is going to have to stick, because these little bits here are going to go just to the outside of this helmet. So if I can show you on the helmet I've already made, you see how this is just slightly past the side of this here, just a little bit past. Use that as kind of your benchmark when you're making this helmet here. So we'll set this here. I'm going to bend this back, and right about there is where I'm going to want it. Okay, now there's probably an easier way for me to do this, but this is all I've got right now. And let me look at my piece here. And it's actually right where we marked it from before. So my brain did work when I planned this out. So you can see the two little marks I still made there. We bend that in, it's going to fit right where we did it. Okay, so now when you're putting this front piece on here, that nose piece there is going to make contact with the back edge of this here. So pretty much you're going back edge to there, press it in, and you're going to curve this in, as I said, curving it in, so you're making full contact right where you mark the edge. So you're going to have to pull this off, put the glue on this edge here, curve the piece in, and stick it. And that will start to help to pull this shape into that curve you want it to be. So I'm going to show you here. Kind of zigzag the glue in there. All right. So I'm going to curve this, get it set where I want it to be. Feel along the back with your thumbs to find the proper spot. Once you get it to where you need it to be, press it in and let it start to hold. Okay. Don't let it pop out on you. So that sucks when it does. And bam, there we go. All right, front is held down. Now what I would do at this point is do a little bit of glue on the edge here and on the edge there and just kind of muscle that into these little spots. That way it doesn't pull away from the very, very front. So we'll just do a dot there and a dot there, a dot here, a dot there. And we'll just massage that right into the spot. All right, excellent. Okay, so now looking at this here, we can kind of see where the rest of the shape is going to end up fitting down. You've got this weird little nook spot right there. Just press it into the shape. It's not going to make a whole lot of difference if you don't have that. But again, you're going to want to get just about a 1/16 of an inch onto the top of this curved area there. So I'm going to try and get this whole section here. We'll get about that much of it. Pull this over and stick it down. Just let it hold for a few seconds. As we've done so many times before, smooth all this glue in here, just like that. Bam, look at that. All right, this side here, same thing. Press and hold, that has a lot more glue than I need, but it's all right. We'll just smooth that down the shape. Boom, baby. There we go. The reason so much glue just gushed out of it is because my bottle's got all gummy, and once it gets all gummy, the glue starts to rush out in larger amounts than it normally does. So, as I said, you'll want to have a paper towel. I don't have one next to me right here, but you'll want to have a paper towel with you so that you can clear the clogs on your glue bottle. Okay, close that one. All right, pull this out. Move this inside here like that. Whoop. All right. Perfect. I'll do a little bit in this corner right there. Just a little bit. There we go. All right. There is the entire cheek, front, and that window for the visor section built for our suit of armor. Let me look at this real quick. See if we're going to continue here. You know what, ladies and germs? We're going to actually go ahead and... No, we can do it. We can do it. Hey, look at that. We can do it. All right. Let's see how this is going to be here. Make sure I got this set. All right. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and attach this here to the top of our helmet. Okay, we're doing the same kind of a thing with the upper portion of this here. Figure you're going to go about 1/16 of an inch onto this frame here just to get a good hold. Maybe just barely over the lip. If you don't want to go a full 1/16 inch, we're going to try and get right on top of there. So you may want to mark the middle on here, see where this lines up and attach to there. So I'm just going to mark it real fast so I know right where I'm going to stick this to begin with. Okay. 1 second. Apologies that I'm out of view right now for you. Okay, so I've marked right there where this is going to stick. Essentially, this whole thing is just going to walk down one side, walk down the other side. We'll have to build more inside this here, which actually we may want to do. You know what? Sorry. Pulling a fast one on you. We are actually going to cut this video there for now because I'm going to show you how to build these side sections on here. So check the next video. We're going to build these side sections here. That way we get a firmer hold when we attach to the top of the helmet there. But anyway, guys, that is this build here. That is how we do our cheek sections there. The whole front and middle there. That's how it all comes together and attaches to this window here. So sorry we're not moving on any further from that, but that is all I got for you right now. Again, thank you so much, you guys, for checking out this video. Guys and gals, I should say. I hope it is informative. I hope it helps you out in all of your cosplaying endeavors. If you are, in fact, building along with me, making your own suit of armor from Halo 4. So anyway, guys, again, my name is Angel Legend, a.k.a. Eric Rolon, a.k.a. Spartan115. Please smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Be sure to check in next time when we should be getting real close to finishing up this helmet. I'm thinking maybe 2 more videos, if not 1 or 2 more videos, and this whole bad boy should be completely constructed, and then it just comes down to you and getting that visor into that helmet. Alright guys, take care, have an awesome day. Please smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Let me know what you think of this video in the comments below. Take care.